You may sometimes find that your peaks are split into multiplets. This might particularly be the case if you're working with peptides. Or you might be dealing with a cosy spectrum where you have this kind of antiphase pattern to the peaks. In this kind of case, if you simply pick your peaks as normal, you will find that it can be a bit difficult to work with them because, of course, really you want to be marking and using the chemical shift of the centre of all these peaks and not have to deal with these individual peaks. So in this situation, you can use our multiplet feature. So in this case here, I've highlighted these 4 peaks. I can now right click on one of them and go to New Multiplet, or you could use the shortcut AM. This will place all of these together and you can see they've all been connected, and at the centre is this circle which signifies that this is a multiplet. If you want to mark this multiplet, you can select it and then use the shortcut UM. This will mark a multiplet. MC will remove the mark, as with all marks, and you can also mark individual dimensions of the multiplet with UX, UY, or for the 3rd and 4th dimensions, UZ and UW. Multiplets are stored in multiplet lists. You can see we have one category here for peak lists and one for multiplet lists. So let's have a look at one of those. You can see that, as with peak lists, anything that is selected here is also selected in the spectrum. You can see here the multiplet, and below are the constituent peaks making up that multiplet. The positions of the multiplet are simply the averages of the constituent peaks. The height of the multiplet is the sum of the heights from the multiplets. Obviously, in this situation, because some of them are negative, that means that the height overall is relatively small. If you had determined and estimated the volumes for your peaks, then these again would be summed for the volume of the multiplet. You can't assign a multiplet as such, but you can assign the constituent peaks. So in this case, let's just go to the peak assigner. And now if I assign even just a single peak, it will automatically assign all the peaks within this multiplet, and in fact there will be a label placed on the multiplet as well. In your spectrum settings, you can see here we can set preferences for how our peak label should be displayed, and you have the same sorts of options for your multiplets, and below you can show whether you want your multiplet symbols or labels to be displayed or not. You can also, if you wish, select all of the peaks belonging to a multiplet in one go by double clicking on the multiplet. You can merge multiplets as well. So if we create 2 separate multiplets here, then if we select both of them, we can go to merge multiplets. Or if I undo that briefly, I could also select peaks and a multiplet and merge multiplets, or merge all of those together into a single multiplet. Finally, you might sometimes, if your peaks are very close, want to use our multiplet peak picker. For that, you can go to File, Preferences, and under Peaks, you can select our Peak Picker 2D multiplets. Click OK, and then in this case, you'll find that as you pick peaks that are close together, they will automatically be placed in a multiplet. If you were to pick a peak which isn't a multiplet, it will be picked as usual.